Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. It's great to be back with you. I hope you are doing well. I am your host. You can listen to and watch me here on X and on YouTube, and of course on Rumble. Please like, share, and subscribe because it does feed the AI algorithm. And finally, please post your comments and questions below. It'd be wonderful to hear from you. And let's jump right into it. As you'll notice, I have a little bit different setup. Besides taking a little bit of time off, I also switched platforms. So uh, before I was streaming or recording my videos through StreamYard, and now I am on Restream. I actually prefer the setup. It's a lot nicer. It's a lot easier to produce these videos for you. And of course, it's a lot more comfortable for me. I don't have to guess when I need to switch over or move from one scene to another. Plus, in the future, I'll be able to do multiple articles and videos in the same episode. So that's pretty cool. Uh, so for this article from NBC News, and we'll jump into it here in a second. But I want to set the table first because this article is going to be about Bumble, AI, and the future of dating. And so I just want to throw some statistics at you first, some things to consider while we're going through this. First stat is 76% of Bumble users are men. I'll repeat that because you probably thought to yourself, what? 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 Yes, 76% of Bumble users are men. Now, maybe you weren't surprised by that. I kind of was because the target market of Bumble is women. Now, maybe I falsely assumed that because women are the ones who set the tone and who make the first move on Bumble. And I will quote that later here in the article or later in the episode. Second stat, men get on average one match out of 40 likes. That's 2.5% of the time. In contrast, women get on average one match out of 2 likes, which is, if you're doing your math correctly, 50%. So women are 20 times more likely to get a match than men on Bumble. Again, 76% of the Bumble users are men. Second set of stats. Men like on average 1 out of 3 profiles, or 33.3% of the profiles they see. Let's compare that to women. Women like on average 1 out of 16 profiles. That's 6.25% of the profiles they see. So men are 5.3 times more likely to like a profile, which means women like profiles a lot less, obviously. Here's the last set of stats. A man has on average of 0.6 matches per day, whereas women on average have 5 matches per day. So women are 8.3 times more likely to find a man. So in an environment where the target market is women, and Bumble is truly for women, if you go through the website, it's going to be about women. It's not about men. But the majority of the users are men. Now, there's some other stats. 5% of the users on Bumble pay. They're paying because the business model is a freemium / subscription model. So with the freemium, you get some get some benefits like you do with any other website. The same thing on Twitter. Twitter is a freemium subscription model. So if you don't have a blue check mark, or if you're not paying for X, you get, you can post, you can reply. You don't get access to Grok, you don't get access to creating articles, but you get some functionality. But if you're paying the full, what is it, $168 a year, $14 a month, because you save $2 every month. If you just pay for the annual rate on X, you get everything. And so Bumble has a similar model. And I say similar because there's some additions that happen on Bumble that don't happen on X. So if you pay for X, you just get everything. Whereas in Bumble, you can pay for extra things as you go. And so I just wanted to set the table for us as we move through this and to provide some context. So let's get to this article. Article titled, AI Personas Are the Future of Dating. Bumble founder says many aren't buying. And this article is by Decia Dolentino. Been practicing that 20 times. And she's a culture and internet reporter for NBC News. So let's start here. So the article begins. The future of dating could be filled with digital, artificial intelligence powered personas setting each other up, according to the founder of Popular Dating. So Bumble already creates online dating, already creates an additional layer between men and women. Now, what this is doing is this is going to create an additional layer to that, and an additional filter system. So clearly, women are, based off the stats, women are pickier. Women, let's say, women have a set of standards that maybe men don't have. Maybe women are unreasonable compared to men in their standards. That's certainly possible, but this is going to exacerbate it even more. So let's continue with the article here. Bumble founder Whitney Wolfe Herd, speaking Thursday at Bloomberg Tech Summit in San Francisco, said that her company is considering how AI can assist and empower women in their search for connection. Right. So we already see from this that women are the target market because that's the language they're using. And it's true. If you look at the Bumble website, it is about women. Now, empowering women in their search for connection. As a guy, I read that and I say, I don't want to use your website. That's not interesting to me. I'm going to grab some coffee. It's not interesting for me. I don't need any of this additional stuff. Just have a normal conversation with me. That's it. You don't need to add these pretentious words into it, right? Because let's face it, if you use a word like empower, it's a pretentious word. Do normal people in their everyday lives actually use those types of words? I would say no. At least not in my setting, not in my group setting. So let me throw a couple things out here for this. So what I'm reading in this is I'm picking out pain points as I have in previous episodes. I've started talking about pain points and challenges. So it seems to me here a pain point is to connect women to desirable men they want. And so far, the stats I laid out, that bears and that moves in that direction. Maybe that bears the truth. But here's the challenge. All men can create accounts. That's a challenge. So if all men can create accounts, how do you further filter men out, undesirable men? And you'll hear me refer to that a few times, undesirable men. Because my reading of this, that's exactly what's happening. So let's continue here. with the article. And by the way, not all women do this. So I don't want a blanket statement all women, because there's some cool chicks out there. All I'm saying is that this does happen quite a bit. All right, so let's continue with the article here. One particular use of AI that Herd mentioned has gained traction online, although not everyone liked the idea. Herd proposed a scenario in which singles could use AI dating concierges. That's how I pronounce it, concierge, as stand-ins for themselves when reaching out to prospective partners online. Again, Bumble was creating an additional filter between men and women. So it's no longer you meet a chick. Maybe I'm a little bit more old school. Let's say that word. It's more of a '90s word. You meet a chick at the grocery store, or at the restaurant, or at the gym, or someplace like that. No, 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 no. Now you go on Bumble and you create a free account, and now you have some access. But in order to gain more access, you have to purchase a subscription. Okay, that's their business model. Completely not opposed to subscription models. Company makes their business, that's fine. But now we add in concierge. Right. So I'm not going to, even online, I'm not going to talk to you directly now if we talk to each other. If you say, this is Bumble, so now you're facilitating this. No, you're not facilitating this. Your concierge is facilitating this. That's what's happening. So what's going on here? They're optimizing the filter system. That's what's happening. Again, I'm not saying all women do this. I'm saying this is this business model. This is this target market for women. Not to steal my own thunder, but there's other ways to meet women online as well, as we'll get to some of the competitors, Instagram, Grinder, Tinder. Although I don't think I mentioned Tinder in the competitors, but a lot of companies are starting to move to this technological structure or tech stack that's incorporating AI. And by the way, AI is going to have the behavior of the developers. It's going to naturally take on that behavior of the developers. And what do I mean by behavior? Their belief systems. That's what it's going to take on. Their perceptions of the world. So if they're hiring men, if you want to generalize men, it's going to take on the perceptions and belief systems of men. If you want to generalize it to women, it's going to take on the belief systems and perceptions of the world of women. So it just depends. And when I was reading through this article, one thing that occurred to me was, say you go to a club. I'm pretty sure this is still the case. Yeah, women's night out. You go to a local club, and at the club, women get in for free. Now, in this case, women also have to pay for the subscription model just like men. But it still reminds me of a club where the focus is going to be women. And the reason why the focus is going to be women is because men are going to come in and spend money. In order to earn your right to talk to a woman at a club, what happens? If you've been to plenty of clubs, and I have been to plenty of clubs in my younger years, you buy women drinks. You buy them drinks. And so this AI dating concierge reminds me, and by the way, you're going to buy, let me just take a step back here. Also, you're going to buy their friends drinks sometimes. That happens. Now, the alternative is they ask you to buy them drinks. You say no. Well, now they're not going to talk to you. So that's it. So that's the alternative. But a lot of guys, it's like, yeah, I want to talk to her. I want to get to know her. So he's going to buy her and her friends drinks. That's what's going to happen. But how are her friends going to respond to this? They're going to get the free drinks and they're going to tell her either A, I like the guy, or B, I don't like the guy. So then they're just going to get free drinks. That's probably going to happen most of the time. And so this AI dating concierge reminds me of that. Reminds me of an artificial group of girlfriends. There are a lot of parallels between what's going on Bumble and probably other dating sites as well. That what happens in nightclubs. To me, it seems like there's a lot of parallels here. So let's continue with the article here. One particular use of AI that Herd mentioned has gained traction online. Although not everyone liked the idea, Herd proposed a scenario in which singles could use AI dating concierges as stand-ins for themselves when reaching out to prospective partners online. Quote, there is a world where your dating concierge could go and date for you with other dating concierge. And then you don't have to talk to 600 people, she said during the summit. Right. She doesn't have to talk to right. Optimize your time. That's right. I don't want to talk to 600 people to figure out who that one person is. It's a waste of my time. Have AI do it for you. Now, but well, this might actually work. But a side effect of this might be, again, what I said earlier was the AI models are going to be influenced by whoever the developers are. So the developers, so really AI is going to be taking in information from the users and it's going to be taking influence in from the developers. So that could be good for the women or it could be bad. My guess is it'll probably still be good because I think the developers they hire are probably going to be women. I think that's what's going to happen. And I'll explain why here in a little bit. So here's another pain point. Talking to 600 men. Yeah, women were, was the stat? Women were less likely to like a profile. They're less likely to like a profile. But they get more matches. And the reason why they're getting more matches is because men are liking more profiles. Right. And so the odds, it's just the law of large numbers. The odds go up and then they get more matches. So that's what's going on. But that's actually a pain point for women because they don't want to have to filter through all that. They kind of just want to find their guy. They got an idea of what their guy is. And so if you follow the red pill at all, not saying you should, but maybe it's a good idea to at least find out what they're talking about. You know, the women might be going for sixes, right? The 666 rule. That is money. Well, the 666 rule is, you know, includes 6 foot tall, men who have 6-pack abs and don't make over 6 figures. Or as Tom Likas, the OG, used to say, money, power, and fame. Or money, power, or fame. So if you have one of those three, a woman would be more likely to be attracted to you. Again, these are just kind of proxies for what's being observed in the real world. Doesn't necessarily mean all women do this. Again, these are proxies for observations from people's experiences, what they've observed in the real world. So let's continue on here with the article. AI-powered dating assistants have gotten more attention recently, such as profile enhancers like YourMove.ai or simulated chatbots like Valor. The rise of generative AI that can learn to mimic particular people has led to plenty of speculation around how it could be used in the romantic arena, particularly as some people have growing delusions or have growing delusioned with and given up on dating apps. Right. Right. Because for me personally, a dating app is a waste of time. I think dating apps are good for women and they're not good for men. And so if you know a little bit, let's say about game theory, that's not a Nash equilibrium. It's an unstable system. right? Because again, 76% of the users on Bumble are men. Would those numbers bear out? Would those numbers be similar on other platforms? It shows men are interested, but it doesn't show women are interested. But that doesn't have anything to do with the benefits. So let's continue here with the article. Let's see here. Where are my notes? I have lots of notes today. There's some healthy skepticism over whether AI is the answer. A clip of Herd at the Bloomberg Summit gained over 10 million views on X, where people expressed uneasiness with the idea of an AI based dating scene. Yeah, I think that I would imagine that it's both groups, men and women, that might have some uneasiness about it, just because it's so far away from what we are naturally comfortable with. I think in some ways, online dating also creates an unnatural easiness for us because it opposes our instinct of actually talking to people in real life. I, as an aside, I think technology is really good. Obviously, I do. But there's also downsides to technology. There's trade-offs. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do it. But there's going to be, and so let's say you do it. There could be some bad things that happen from it. In the last article, I talked about AI sex bots, right? And um, people are going to have to deal with that because this was the company Stapery. I think it's Starpery. I have to look at my notes. What does it say in my notes? Yeah, Starpery. So Starpery's in China, and they're gonna incorporate AI into sex bots. And so, what's that going to do for the dating market in China? Right? What's that going to do for potential births in China? That could be positive in some ways for men. It could save them money. It could save them time. It could save them resources. But that may not necessarily be a good thing nationally for the country or for its culture or for its growth. That's a trade off. The same thing here. What's this going to do to dating? Is this going to isolate more men to loneliness? Is it going to give some men a leg up on other men? Uh, is it going to create some sort of harem where the top 5% of men get the top 80% of women, or maybe the top 10% of men get the top 80% of women, or something like that? It's going to create some imbalance. Whereas before social media, maybe you definitely had women that were dating multiple men, and you had um, and vice versa, right? You'd have men dating multiple women and a woman dating multiple men. But it's probably the case you more likely you had one-on-one situations. I'm going to date this person, and then if that doesn't work, I'll go move on to the next person. But now, because of online dating, and I believe the data for Tinder has bared this out, that top percent of men are dating the top 85% of women on Tinder. So that creates an imbalance. And it looks a little bit like a harem. That's just what it looks like to me. Just being honest. So let's continue here. Some compared it to episodes of Black Mirror. If you watch Black Mirror, that's pretty scary and depressing. Some of that stuff's pretty. Some of that stuff is really crazy. A Netflix series that explores dystopian uses of technology. Continue here. Others felt like the use of AI in dating would exacerbate the isolation and loneliness that people have been feeling in recent years. Yeah, I just talked about that. Uh, when people are online, people are staring at their phones. That takes time away from them interacting with other people. Again, that's just a trade-off. It's you only have so much time in a day. You have 24 hours. We all get 24 hours. And so the question is, what do you do with those 24 hours? And everyone's going to spend it differently. And so does that lead to isolation and loneliness because you're online all the time? Or let's say you're a guy, let's say you're a nice guy. You don't have six pack abs, you're not 6 feet tall, you don't have six figures. And I'll throw out the punchline here in a second. And let's say you go on Bumble and you don't really exert any, you know, um, money, power, or fame. Let's say your money habits, you read The Millionaire Next Door. So you're really frugal with your money. You have a lot of money in the bank, by the way, but you're frugal with it. You drive a used car. You shop at Walmart. You get jeans. Let's say it's kind of a giveaway because you like really nice boots. So you'll spend a couple $100 on boots, thorough goods for sure. You gotta go thorough goods. And but they don't see that in the picture. Do women, because of the filtering system, do women filter you out? And now you're not meeting women on Bumble. But you also forgot to add that you were a Navy SEAL. so, so women are passing up on you. I can tell you, most of the SEALs I knew, those guys were not over 6 feet. Most of the guys in the airborne were not over 6 feet. They would all get filtered out. I'm just going to let that sink in for a second. So does that exacerbate isolation and loneliness? Probably not for the vets. They're used to dealing with that. They'll carry on. And you know what? They'll probably meet women outside of dating. It would just be a waste of time. It would just be a waste of time and money for them. That's what it would be. Because they would, like Marines, special forces guys tend to do: improvise, adapt, and overcome. As we say, it's the Marine Corps way. So let's continue here. I was going to say I got some notes here. Another note here about the loneliness. If you follow Scott Adams, disgraced cartoonist, I know he would appreciate if I call him that, disgraced cartoonist. He calls it the loneliness epidemic. He talks about that in his Coffee with Scott Adams. He talks about the loneliness epidemic. So if you want to learn more about that, listen to him every morning on his podcast. So let's continue here. Herd said that she wants to use AI to teach people how to date better. So when I read this, it sounded kind of like she wants to teach people how to date better. It sounded like she was a pickup artist. Because when I read that, it sounds like she's a pickup artist. Now, I'm not a pickup artist. I don't claim to be a pickup artist. My focus here is to talk about AI being incorporated into different types of businesses and what might happen from that. By the way, I don't even know if this is going to work. Let me specify that. I don't know if this is going to work. There are places where AI could work, and there are places where AI may not work. And it may not work for different reasons. It could be design. Design of the system could be bad, so AI is not going to work, or it's not going to be as efficient. Because you can't just take AI is just not plug and chug. We're not even there yet. And then you got to get past management. Management's not going to replace themselves with AI. That's not going to happen. If you've ever watched Office Space or you read Dilbert, AI is not going to replace themselves. So AI's got to get past that in order for it to take over the world. And middle management and management, higher management is not going to allow that to happen. So this term sounded a little bit like a pickup artist to me. And then second, and they quote the founder here. Herd said that she wants to use AI to teach people how to date better and, I quote, create more healthy and equitable relationships. So my question is it equitable, if I'm looking at my notes here, is it equitable that 76% of Bumble users are men? Is that equitable? Right? Because what's equitable supposed to be? It's supposed to be the same across, right? So it's the same level across. That doesn't sound very equitable. So is Herd's move towards equitability? Is that mean she says, oh no, I want 50% of Bumble users to be men and I want 50% of users to be women? Is that what she's saying? Because the focus here, let me go to my notes here, as it says on their website, and I quote, because this is a target market for women, here kindness is sexy. You being you is perfect. And women come first always. That's not very equitable. That's favorable. She's favoring a certain group, specifically women. That's not equitable. Is it equitable that women are 20 times more likely to get a match? Is that equitable? Is it equitable that men are 5.3 times more likely to like a profile, which means women are less likely to like a profile? Is it equitable that men only get 0.6 matches per day, whereas women get on average 5 matches per day? Is that equitable? Is it equitable that women are 8.3 times more likely to find a man? Is that equitable? Let me grab some coffee. I don't think so. Pretty sure that's not what the word means. That word doesn't mean what you think it means. So where are we at here? All right, we're talking about equitability. I have so many notes set up. so many notes. So many notes set up around the table here in this new setup. I probably went overboard on preparing for this episode. I'm going to be honest with you. So let's continue here. Where was I here? Okay, so oh, and you know what I didn't do? Oh, did I mess up here? Anyways, I'll continue on with the article. It looks like I may have messed up the article online. Looking at it briefly, but I'll continue on here. So, Herd wants to teach us all how to date better. Fine. Whatever. That's the word equitable is a red flag for me, to be honest. It's manipulation. It's a manipulative word. It really doesn't mean equitable. It just means men are going to give more things to women. That's what it means in this case. A Bumble spokesperson reiterated. Oh, no, I didn't. So, yeah, we're in the right place. All right. So she suggested AI dating concierge can help people unpack. Again, that's a word that normal people don't use. That's not a word normal people use. Normal people don't use the word equitable, and normal people don't use the word unpack. That's not normal. Those aren't normal words. Those are words derived from academia. Those are manipulation words. So let's continue here. Can help people unpack their dating concerns and give tips for communicating with new matches. So yeah, as a dude, that made me think of, this is something I would say to a chick, and I would say, and I quote, "Hey baby, you're looking mighty fine today, mama. Healthy and equitable today." Yeah, no woman's gonna talk to me after I say it. Although she might find that funny because she might know that I'm doing a little bit of mocking, so she might like that side of me. Article continues here. A Bumble spokesperson reiterated this sentiment in an email to NBC News. The spokesperson said the company can, and I quote, see a future where AI can continue to foster positive relationships. And that's it for the article online. But as you know, I have my paper and notes, and so we will continue here outside of X. Article continues, and a quote, Bumble is a place to make safe, kind, and authentic connections, helping people to meet online to then take the connection offline. Okay, does that work? How often does that work? Really, how often does that work? It probably doesn't work the vast majority of the time. Right. So a question might be, would AI be able to improve that? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. Probably not. Article continues. The spokesperson also said that Bumble has incorporated several AI-powered features into the app, as I'll share here in a few. Bumble is hiring AI engineers. Continue here, including its For You match recommendation page, its spam profile detector, and its lewd image blocker. So my question is, by match you mean what the women or what the woman is filtering for, right? Because again, the target market is women. It's not men, it's women. And by lewd, you mean with six-pack abs. So if you got a good-looking guy and he's got a picture of his abs, would that be considered lewd? Right? Because remember, different standards for different people. I'm not making a value judgment. I'm just saying. Article continues here. Herd also shared insight on the direction of Bumble is heading following its recent rebrand. I'm not exactly sure what that rebranding was, how it rebranded. I can tell you I can tell you the focus is women. So I'm not sure what that rebranding is. It's women. Okay, but let's continue here. Quote, we will not be a dating app in a few years, she said. Dating will be a component, but we will be a true human connection platform, which will be focused on women. Let me include that. That's not what she's saying, but let me include it because that's what that really means. This is where you will meet anyone you want to meet, a hiking buddy, I don't know what that word is because I think the person spelled that wrong. A mahjong buddy. I would say read your articles before you publish them, edit them, get somebody else to edit them before you publish these articles. And let me finish out the quote here, whatever you're looking for. Okay, whatever you're looking for. All right. Yeah. So that's the article. Some questions here. Bumble's target market will change from women to men and women. Is that what they're saying? Because they're going to change the direction. So the target market would change to both men and women. As of right now, it's all about women. If you go on their website, you can find on their blog. Their blog is called The Buzz. I got an article here that says Bumble furthers commitment to women's sports with New York Liberty partnership. It's not the New York Knicks. It's a New York Liberty. I think equitable and a true human connection platform would say Bumble furthers commitment to sports with the New York Liberty and the New York Knicks partnership. That would be equitable. That's not what this article says. So I'm not sure what the rebranding is. And so I was asked these questions based off of what I talked about in the previous article. If the target market is going to change from women to men and women, will it be cheaper than dating for men? Will it be faster than dating for men? Will it be more efficient for men? Will it be more reliable compared to other options for men? Because, like, women don't want to talk to 600 men. Men also want efficiency in a different way, right? So, men and women want, I shouldn't say we want the same thing because we don't, but we want efficient systems. We both do. And so, like I said earlier, I said I was going to share with you Bumble is developing these platforms. They're looking for senior machine learning engineers, associate machine learning engineers, senior machine learning ops engineers, AI engineers. And these are all located in London, England. So if you're looking for a job, you could probably apply. And I'll just throw this tidbit in there. They're looking in the applications. You can add your pronouns if you like. So there you go. They are moving. Bumble is moving to become more of an AI platform or incorporate AI in their business, in their tech stack, which, by the way, is smart. It's smart to do that. You just have to figure out how to do it. So there we go. That's the article. So we're going to get to the end here. What is Bumble? We'll get to my three highlights here, and I'll get to my final three questions here in a second. But let's. I probably should have said this in the beginning. What is Bumble? According to Bumble, Bumble is the social connections app empowering the world. Again, empowering, that word. The world to create healthy and equitable, that word again. They use that word a lot on the website, empowering and equitable. They use those words a lot, which is probably good to repeat the word so people remember it, but it's still weird to use those words. Equitable relationships in love, life, and work. Our mission is to challenge outdated gender norms and encourage everyone to make moves for good. Right, because they are, let me see my notes. They are, I know I wrote this down somewhere. They are, probably did not write that down. Oh, maybe I wrote that down. Yeah, but I was going to say their focus is different things, not just making money. But maybe I wrote that here in my final three questions or highlights. But like I said, I got a lot of notes for this episode, so it's kind of got kind of crazy with that. So anyways, let's move on to my highlights. Highlight number one. Besides Bumble, there are a number of competitors: YourMove.ai, Valor AI, TikTok, Instagram. I've heard Instagram. Again, I don't use any of these sites for dating. Replica, Grinder, Meta. Yeah, I guess you can meet people on Meta, and SideMatch. It's a new, smaller website developed by Eastern European women. Highlight number two, women set the tone by making the first move on Bumble. AI, it will exacerbate that filtering system. That's what I believe. Don't be surprised if Bumble's AI filters out 95% of men who use the site. Again, there's already a large filtering system going on Bumble. We went over the stats earlier. Highlight number three, Bumble founder Whitney Wolfe Herd is considering how AI can assist and empower women in their search for connection. I would say that's the perfect man. They're looking for the perfect man. And I wrote down below that, oops, I added that last part, which is true, but I still think that's true. Let's move on. Some pain points here. Women pain points for the website. Connect women to desirable men. You can argue with me all you want. Looks like that's what women are doing based off of the stats, and those are Bumble stats. Any man can reach out, yes, if he has a freemium account, but other than that, he's going to have to purchase a subscription account. And then once the AI concierge get in the way, that's going to filter even more. And of course, women talking to 600 men. They don't want to do that. Just give me the perfect guy. If you want to make a case that men do the same thing, go for it. That's fine. Technology challenges. Some of these are going to be the same as pain points. Connect women to desirable men. Optimize filtering system. That's what this is. Dating sites are a filtering system. It's exactly what they are. Because there are controls in place. and controls means a filtering system. You don't have to like that. That's what it is. Target desired male traits. Yeah, I mean, again, women are going to prefer certain traits. I'm not sure if that's unreasonable, but it's the reality of the situation. So here are my final 3 questions. I know I'm kind of rushing through this. I don't want these videos to be too long. So I had a lot of stuff. I think I missed like half of it, but here we are. It's my first episode of the season. We'll call this season 3. So final 3 questions. Question 1, will Bumble's AI and the women users create a dating platform that filters out 95 to 99% of the male users? Will Bumble's AI filter out 95 to 95% of the male users? I think yes. You might disagree. Go ahead and put that in the comment section below if you disagree with me, or if you agree with me, do the same thing. Go ahead and comment below. By the way, that does help feed the AI algorithm, and the more you like and comment, YouTube sees that, Rumble sees that, and they say, yeah, hey, we should share this video more. So if you like my content, please give me a like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. I really would. And if you know somebody else who would like my content, please share it. And by the way, don't view this as a red pill video. I might have said this earlier. It's not a red pill video. This is not a manosphere video. This is just, we're talking about AI. And we happen to be talking about AI and a dating platform. We previously talked about AI with respect to McDonald's. We talked about AI with respect to nuclear power plants. I've talked about AI with respect to restaurants. Also sex bots last time. And that's all I'm doing here. We are just talking about investigating, exploring AI within these different environments to see if it can actually work sometime. And of course, what I like to do is I like to add in pain points and technological challenges to show that it's not so easy to incorporate AI into these business models. It's the shiny object, but it's not easy. All right. So question 2, will Bumble be able to increase its market share using AI, or will the AI decrease market share? Right now, I believe 38% of the North American market or United States market uses Bumble. Let's see here. I got this, and this is from Brave Leo, the AI on Brave. It says here, data suggests both Tinder and Bumble are strong contenders, with 38% of U.S. dating app users reportedly they had used Bumble in the past 12 months, matching the same percentage for Tinder. So they both each are at 38% of the market. So Tinder and Bumble are the largest players in the dating market, ahead of everyone else, apparently. I don't know how they came up with that number, but that's what they did. And let's see. Final question. How will Bumble compete against AI sex bots? And if you want to know more about AI sex bots, I will post that video I will post that below. So please give that a watch. Which I talked about in the previous episode. That's what I just said. Recall AI sex bots are a substitute, a similar product or service in this case to Bumble and dating in general, right? So you could see men using AI sex bots. You could see them using Bumble. You could see them using porn. They're going to use something, but we don't know what it is. It's going to be their choice. So they're going to have different choices, and those choices are going to compete. Will Bumble cost more, or will AI sex bots cost more? That'd be an interesting calculation. Once we get more data, and then how many men use Bumble versus how many men will purchase sex bots, AI sex bots. And of course, calculate that over the short term and the long term. The bottom line is Bumble needs to be cheaper, faster, more efficient, and more reliable than AI sex bots. So it needs to be more successful than AI sex bots, or men will start to purchase AI sex bots. So were there any questions I missed? Were there any questions you wished I would have asked? That's all I have for today. I'm going to let you get to the rest of your day. Thanks again for listening. It's been great to be back with you, and I will see you in the next episode.